Welcome to Muscles and Malarkey, a podcast about all things strength, fitness, and fun. I'm your host, Mary. In this episode of Muscles and Malarkey, I sit down with Ty, a high-level powerlifter known for his impressive lifts and dedication to the sport. We talk about his journey into powerlifting, what it's like to step onto the competition platform, and how he's navigated the challenges of injury and recovery. Ty also shares his perspective on giving back to the lifting community, the importance of building a strong mindset, and why having a life outside of powerlifting is just as important as what you do in the gym. Whether you're chasing PRs, competing, or just love the sport, this conversation is packed with insight and inspiration. Big reason why I wanted to have you on today was just to kind of talk about you, your role in powerlifting, kind of how you got into powerlifting. I'd love to hear your story.
How I got into powerlifting. So I won't say my entire life because I didn't start sports until I was like a freshman in high school, and didn't really play. I was on the team, three teams like football, wrestling, track. Didn't really do anything until I was a sophomore, and that's when things really started to click. Fast forward, played football in college. Then after college football, I didn't know what to do with myself. Just kind of bored, bumbling around. I was going to, I started in the gym just to have something to do. And then while I was there, it was called Beyond Limits Training in Columbus, Ohio. So while I was there a couple of trainers were like, "Oh, you should get into powerlifting. You should do this. You should do this." And I even had somebody reach out to me to try and box or do MMA. And I was like, well, I'm too pretty to get hit in the face. So I'm not going to do that. I think it was like 2 years I, fumbled around with the powerlifting idea, and I trained, blah, blah, blah. Then I linked up with a coach from Ohio State, John, linked up with him. And he was like, yeah, you should just give it a try. So he prepped me for my first meet. It was a no frills meet in Michigan. And it was like my first meet. I squatted over 700 pounds, benched over 4, and deadlifted 720. And then after that, I was like, oh, I'm good at this. Why not continue this? 8 years later, I'm still doing this. So
How old were you when you did your first meet?
maybe 26, 27 when I did my first meet.
Oh my gosh. When you said it was a no frills meet, I was like, oh, okay. So it was like very simple, very straightforward. No, it's literally labeled no frills
No
meet.
frills. Yeah. Yeah. No awards, no placings, no anything. It's just,
Just like, come here and lift some shit, man.
yeah, that's what it was. And it was in Michigan. And that meet was interesting. I've never been to a powerlifting meet before. So my first time walking in there, I didn't realize how white the sport was. Didn't realize. There's nothing against that, but I mean, everybody has their own space. But I walked in, and the first thing I heard was, "Man, it got dark in here." And then I kind of thought that's how it was going to continue on in the sport, but that was just the one incident, and I'm sure there's others for other people. But that was my one incident that's ever happened in powerlifting. And then people see how strong you are, and they're like, "Oh, okay,
He can squat a house. Like maybe we should let off a little bit.
yeah."
Okay, so I noticed that you competed in USAPL until about 2017. What made the shift for you away from the USAPL?
I honestly, I think I just switched to another federation just to see what it was like. And there was nothing behind it. I was just like, oh, why not try out the USPA? Why not try it out? I mean, they're both there. And I stayed drug tested this entire time, just competed in drug tested federations this entire time. And I think why I didn't go back to USAPL is when I think they banned transgender people from competing in the USAPL. And I was with Donuts and Deadlifts, and one of their main people, she was transgender, and they didn't outright tell me that I couldn't compete in the USAPL, but they were like, "Hey, if you are going to compete with them, then you can't rep They didn't say I would lose my sponsorship. They just said I couldn't wear anything donuts and deadlifts related. And for me, like, I didn't care what federation I was in. I just wanted to lift. So, it wasn't, I didn't have like some stressor that was like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? I mean, it was a no brainer for me. I was like, all right, whatever. There's plenty of other federations I can compete in. So
There's so many federations. It's
yeah, yeah,
amazing.
yeah. It's insane how many federations there are now. I mean, with all the drama that happened in every single one of them. So
Now we got a new one. By the time this podcast comes out, who knows? That one also might be fractured
we'll have
with
five
another
more.
one. Yep. I see part of the reason why I asked that is because I definitely remember the abolish the USAPL shirt that was going around. But
My favorite shirt.
it's a good shirt, man. We love all the LGBTQIA people up
Yeah.
in Muscles and Malarkey, and I can understand why Donuts and Deadlifts made that kind of suggestion. How did you get involved with Donuts and Deadlifts?
I think it was around 2016, 2017 nationals. I had a buddy back in Ohio who knew some of the people from Donuts and Deadlifts, and he would talk to them online. And then one day I just commented on a post he had, and I like tagged them, and I said, "I'm gonna be at nationals. I'm gonna bring you a cheesecake," and I did. And I have like pictures on my phone still of it. I just showed up. It was in Scranton, PA. I drove like 7 hours with a cake, like a cheesecake, and just showed up and gave it to them. And then one day, Chrissy just like called me up and she said, "Do you want to be a part of the team?" And I was like, "Of course." And it just went from there. We developed a friendship after that.
Also, wait, let's just go back. The deadlift parties, though, I'm just so thankful I went to both of them. Em totally talked me into it for the first year. I was like, I don't know. Like, I was still very new in powerlifting. I'm like, I don't know. This just seems scary and super intimidating. And like,
Yeah,
we got there. I mean, granted, there was the first year was great because there really wasn't a lot of people. And then like the second year, it was so packed. But
oh, it
we
was
got,
insane the second year. Yeah.
oh my gosh, just like, I can't even imagine how overwhelmed all of the people there. Back to competing. So you competed. Oh, did you get disqualified from your most recent meet?
Disqualified as in like I couldn't lift
Oh, you.
anymore.
What happened with your last meet?
Everything was going great, and then I got talked in to try and squat 900 pounds, which I'm sure it was there. But then my knee just popped out, and I went to the ground hard. But that's why.
Holy shit, dude.
Yeah.
Wow. But I see you're also fucking beast in it right now. Are you in prep for anything?
I'm actually doing, it's just a meet for a cause. And it's in Chicago, and it's called Kilos for Consent. So I'll be doing that in Chicago, and I think I might only do bench only, or bench and deadlifts. It's been 7, 8 months since I had surgery. And I'm already back to squatting over 600 pounds, but I think I just want to give it a little more time before I'm like, you know what, let me. So I'll probably just do like a push pull and then leave it at that. And that's in May, I believe.
Oh, that's awesome.
So
Oh, wait, are you in prep for that?
I'm prep for that right now. Yeah.
Very nice. How's the
Yeah.
first couple weeks of prep feeling?
It's not bad. This week I actually only went to the gym to walk on the treadmill. Just because I've been so stressed trying to get this push pull, this charity push pull together. And if I would have did it with people who are in the powerlifting world, it probably would have run a lot smoother. But since I'm doing it with the Salvation Army, their fundraiser people and the people that run their events, they're used to dinners and lunches and a pheasant hunt that he likes to keep bringing up. So they're used to just like a lot of talking. So he sent me the script, and it's just talking, and I'm like, we have to cut 90% of this out. Like there is no, like, at the beginning you can talk, at the end you can talk. And then I like gave and I said, all right, the 15 minutes that we have in between bench and deadlifts, we'll do a raffle. And then there's just a fiasco with the banners that go behind the lifters when they're lifting. They're pretty big. They're like 8x8 or probably bigger. And they gave me like a 5x5. And I said, this is way too small. And he's like, well, that's what we use at our events. And I said, right, but this is a powerlifting event. It's completely different. I'm actually surprised with how many people donated and wanted to be a part of it. Like I said, I made a video before and I was like, I expected to raise like $2,000 for this. When I looked at the numbers yesterday, it was like $13,500 that we raised.
Let's take a step back here. What is this meet? Why did you start it? Kind of give me the story.
First, I'll preface this with I never wanted to do it. One of our directors came to me and they were like looking at fundraising stuff. And then I don't know how they came across my social media, but they did. And she was like, what do you think about putting on a powerlifting meet? And in my head, I'm like, hell no.
It's so much work to put on a
Yeah,
powerlifting meet.
like that. And I was like, I don't want to bring my personal thing I do for fun and like stress relief with work. So I never wanted to do it. But they kept asking me and I was like, you know what? Okay. It's called Raise the Bar. The purpose of it is to raise money for families experiencing homelessness in Dane County here. So the money raised by the meet will go to like first month's rent, security deposit, application fees, birth certificates. It's funds to help with that. And I'm hoping that the money that we raise can be put on a card and we can use that.
I think that's a fantastic thing. And your points of, okay, this money is going to go to first month's rent. How important is that for somebody to be able to secure housing? I love that.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited for tomorrow, but I'm also like, I can't wait for this to be over.
From that first conversation of like, hey, you're getting voluntold to do this powerlifting meet. What was the process from there? Like, what did you have to do?
I had to find a gym. It was between two gyms here, and both are friends of mine. So it was between the HQ and then Madtown Fitness. And they are more powerlifting like centered, right? And bodybuilding. So they have the combo racks and they have the plates and the bars. So they have all that stuff already. So it's like, all right, well, this seems like the best option. So I brought it down. I was like, hey, my work is telling me that I need to do something like this. And he's like, you know what? I'll donate the spot. You could just use the gym for free. And that's what I'm like talking about, like the kindness and like how many people donated, because I think the only thing that I've had to pay for are the t-shirts. And that was like $600, right? So $600 out of, $13,500. And then whatever we raise tomorrow through the raffle and everything, it's $600 is just like a little bit of change. Everything was donated. I mean, Animal reached out to me. I had like a bunch of places from around here reach out to me and want to donate like the food. From Aztec is like a nice little taco place around the corner. It's amazing. One of the best places I ever had. And then we have a place up here called Glass Nickel Pizza. They donated pizza. And then a lot of places like, I'll give you this, or I'll give you this. Then there's no placings in this meet. It's a charity meet, so there's no first, second, third place, because I just wanted to be like a real fun, relaxed time, like no pressure. And I was like, I want to do something for them because they don't have to do this and they're not getting anything out of it, right? I talked to Animal, I talked to this place called Pro Nutrition and all these other places, and I put together like a goodie bag for them. And there's like gift cards in there, tons of energy drinks and Prime and whatever else you can. I even put little Salvation Army ceramic mugs in there. And these bags started off and they were kind of light. And then today I finished putting all the stuff in them, and these bags are so heavy. So I was like, I kind of want them to like leave with something. Like, yeah, you're leaving with the thought of like, oh, I really made a difference. I helped out and I did this. But like, I want you to have something. I think that was really awesome that so many places were really inclined to like, I want to do something for this. All this different stuff. So I'm excited to see how it goes tomorrow, but I'm also ready to be done.
Understandable. I'm going to compliment you here. I think this is truly a testament to who you are as a person and people it feeling so inclined to help. Like you bring that out in people.
Thank you. Yeah.
Cool.
That's why I want to be so great. And I don't want it to be like some just little crappy, they're just trying to get money type of deal. Like when they think of this meet and they think of like what's going on, they don't think of like the Salvation Army. It's my face and my name that's like associated with. And I try to keep my brand. I like to keep it where it's at. Like I don't want people to look like when they think about it, like, oh, Tyra really put on this crappy meat.
I can't wait to see like the post meet stuff and how well it goes. I'm sending you all the good vibes. I hope you have a very smooth day tomorrow.
I should have like a pretty cool video of it. I got John Hack to he like bought a drone, so he's gonna do like all types of pictures and videos from it. So it should turn out pretty cool.
Well, so do you train with John frequently?
Yeah, we probably train together. I mean, every Saturday we'll definitely train together. Then sometimes we'll train earlier or later than I am willing to. So sometimes like during the week it's harder to train together, but mostly on the weekends we definitely train together. There's they like to call it the penis palace. Uh it's a little it's a little back room where we lift at the gym. So it's like there's the gym and then there's this like little back room where we all train back there, and that's what it's called.
The penis palace.
Absolutely.
Are uterus owners allowed to come
Yes,
in?
yes, they
Okay.
are. They're welcome. They've been in there, but the name is long standing and probably will stay there forever.
See, I feel like you'd be really fun to work out with. People kind of laugh at me because they're like, "You go to the gym for 3 hours?" And I'm like, "Yeah." So I'm at the gym for 3 hours. That does not mean I'm working out for 3 hours. It's my social time.
Yeah, an hour and a half tops working out, maybe. The rest is laying around talking, going to the bathroom at least 7 times. That's my pre-squat ritual right there. Walking to the gym, put my stuff down, bathroom, back to warm up, bathroom, and then I hit my top sets.
Aside from, bathroom humor and powerlifting, which I really think goes hand in hand quite a bit. So you're currently in prep for this push pull meet. Do you feel comfortable telling me your goals, what you're trying to shoot for?
And you know what? To be honest, I my entire career of powerlifting, I've never set a goal for a meet. Right? It was just to show up and just have some fun and lift. Most of the time, my goals are just like, oh, I want to hit this today in the gym. But like when it comes to meets, I'm just like, you know what? If I walk away after, if I'm still lifting after, like I'm perfectly fine with whatever. So I mean, this one, I mean, my ultimate goal for bench is a 600-pound bench press. I mean, I'm at 582 now, so I mean, it's in the future. If it comes in May, it comes in May. If it doesn't, eventually it'll be there.
I have multiple thoughts on this. The first one I want to say is I just want to reiterate you are raw. You do not lift equipped.
Right.
And you also are a natty boy. You're out here almost benching. You're benching 582 pounds, natty AF, without like a bench shirt or anything. That blows. Y'all, Ty, you're so fucking strong.
Just pure cheesecake running through these veins. That's what it is.
That was the first thought I had was, Jesus, you're really freaking strong. But the second thought that I had in hearing you say that is your viewpoint, your perspective on competing in meets. And I love that because I feel like sometimes as powerlifters, we take ourselves a little too seriously. And at the end of the day, like you made the comment earlier, we literally pay to do this sport and we don't get a goodie bag unless we win something.
Exactly.
Not every meet means you have to get better. Like you do not have to increase your total, hit a PR every single time that you do a meet.
No.
But I have the same mentality. It's like I do what my body gives me on the day. Obviously, like I'm gonna fucking try, but if I'm walking away and I haven't flared up my back, some body part isn't injured, that's a good day. I
That's
I
a good
live
day.
I live to lift another day.
Yeah. Powerlifting, yes, take serious in the moment, but people really, I think they put too much into it because it's only one aspect of our lives, right? I mean, it's not all we have. I mean, I got a whole life outside of 9 to 5 that I gotta go to and do. I got people that I care about that I want to see outside of that. So, like when I got hurt, it was me and somebody else got hurt around the same time, and people comment on the differences in how we reacted to that injury. The other person was more like, life sucks. I'm never gonna do anything, blah blah. I'm gonna be sad for a while until I'm better. And it just, they really let it just crumble, like their world is crumbling around them, and they really just let it get them down in the dumps. And me, I'm just like, okay, yeah, it sucks, and yeah, I'm gonna have a medical bill that's probably expensive, but I'm still alive. I got a job, I got health insurance, like I'm good. I'll heal, and that's really it.
It might take some time. I mean, you said it's been 10 months, I think, or 8
Yeah,
months
around
since your
that 8 months.
surgery.
Yeah.
You're back to squatting 600. It takes time. And I mean, that's just the nature of injuries and
Hmm.
bodies, but
Yeah.
it doesn't mean you're completely out of the game.
Yeah. It's just going to take some time. I mean, my surgeon did make me promise to him that I would not try and squat over 900 pounds again. And I said, okay. Oh, yeah, I will never try to squat over 900 pounds ever again.
You didn't say anything about squatting 900 on the dot,
Exactly.
though.
Exactly. No, he said, no more 1 rep maxes. And I said, I'll never do a 1 rep max again. It'll just be something I've already done.
See, the doctors don't understand. Like, I worked in ortho, they do not understand. They're just like, you won't be able to squat after you have a knee replacement. You can't
Mm.
do barbell squats. And then you see these people who have a history and have a background of lifting post hip replacement, post knee replacement. It's like, yeah, if your body's used to doing that, it's easier for you to get back into it
Yeah.
versus somebody who never lifted, never did anything like that. They have surgery like a knee or a hip. Like, yeah, no, I probably wouldn't recommend that Todd at 72 years old starts doing 1 rep maxes.
Yeah.
But I think that Ty at the age of how old are you?
36.
At the age of 36, who has squatted a house multiple times, it's probably okay to get back into that.
Yeah. Yeah. I think after a month and a half of PT, they said, you don't have to come back. I said, all right, okay. I got cleared to lift within like 3 weeks after surgery. Yeah, you can do like some little things. I was like, all right.
Okay, my healthcare nerd brain is shifting into overdrive. What happened? Did you tear ligaments? Did you
Yeah, so it was like the quad. So there's no damage to the bone at
no.
all. But the quad just wanted to take a little vacation and it just and they took it and they pulled it down and they drilled 3 holes into the kneecap, tied it in, and let it fuse together. And to be honest, I didn't feel any pain from it snapping to after the surgery or anything. I had to keep my leg extended for a couple of weeks, like just in the brace without like bending it or anything like that. So standing up, I lived alone. So it was just me by myself, like trying to cook for myself. And like there's steps to get up to where I need to be. And it was definitely an experience. That was the worst part. I hated going to PT. It was the worst thing. And they just gave me the same thing over and over again. And it was just, oh, do some hip thrust, do some quad strengthening, like squeeze your quad. I'm like, I could do this without paying you guys $700 a visit.
I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously, like I'm very pro therapy, but you can have good
Right.
rehab professionals, you can have not as good rehab professionals. You would have been such a dream
Yep.
patient. Athlete comes in, heavy like powerlifting background, and be like, oh, we could do a lot.
Yeah. There's just me and a bunch of elderly people in PT together. I mean, they were probably all in their 80s, and there's me. We became friends in there every time I was in there. We became friends while they're doing a little cycle and walk around the track, and they're seeing me and they're trying to squat down.
I just think mindset is so important, truly. And I think people kind of shirk on that or they almost diminish mindset. And my thought process is this up here talks to you more than anyone or anything else in a day. What you tell yourself, you will believe. That other guy, it sounds like his mindset was maybe not constructive and more, self-deprecating and like,
Yeah.
I mean, I get it. I also say give yourself 24 hours. You want to be upset or sad about something, give yourself 24 hours, okay, and then the next day it's like what's the game plan from here?
Yeah.
Especially with injuries, there's always a
Mhm.
game plan. I have a couple questions for you. If you had to give advice to somebody who was starting out in the sport, what would you tell them?
To be honest, I'd probably tell them not to pay attention to anyone else. Like it's good to take advice from other people, like lifters, especially like seasoned lifters, like advice on like form and how you should approach things, but don't focus on the weight. The weight will come as long as you're training hard enough and you're doing what you need to, and you're resting. drinking your water, everything like that, the strength is going to come. But if you're a new lifter and you're looking at like the John Hacks and the Dan Bells and all these people, and you're like, why am I not squatting that much or deadlifting that much? Like, I think it's gonna hurt you. Then it's gonna hurt you more than it will drive you to do it, right? I mean, because then if you're just chasing the weight and the numbers, like you're gonna end up hurt faster than you would if you're just training just to train. So I think it would be just like, don't focus on the numbers and just focus on the training. Like, that's what you need to do. Focus on the training. Like, become good at all of the lifts and not just one of them. Like, yeah, it's good to have a goal. Oh, I want to squat 700 pounds one day. I mean, that's a good goal for yourself, but I wouldn't look at other lifters and like, oh, why can't I do that? Why am I not doing that?
It's a timeline thing, right? Oh, well, he squatted 700 in his first meet. Why can't I squat that? It's like, well, there's a lot of factors that go into me versus you.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I had a long history of, sports, right? To be fair, my first ever squat was 225 pounds for like multiple reps, and I had no idea how to squat. So it was my first year playing football, and it was our running back at the time. He was a senior, and he like brought me in. And he's like, "How much can you squat?" I was like, "I never squatted before in my life. I have no idea." And he was like, "All right, you can just squat what I put on." And I was like, okay." And it was 225, and that was the first thing I ever squatted before. So I mean, I had a history of like sports, right? Football, wrestling, track. I mean, and I threw. So I mean, all those sports you had to lift and be strong. So I mean, I had that history of sports beforehand, to where I was like, already like training and lifting, not powerlifting specific, but I was already lifting. So I mean, I had like that semi strength before, and then once powerlifting came along, those numbers just gradually increased. I mean, it took forever. I mean, if you look at it, like newbie games, like, yeah, you make like really good games when you're new to the sport. But then once you're like been in it for like 2 years, 3 years, I mean, you might only make like a 10-pound PR in the year, So it's a long game. That's what it is. It's a long game.
And I think it's interesting because I've noticed this trend with the popularity of powerlifting growing, especially on like TikTok and Instagram. I'm also noticing a lot of younger people getting into the sport, which I think is wonderful. Like, that's so great. But you also see people coming in for a flash in the pan and then they're out.
Mm-hmm.
I give no shade towards anyone, but I'm in it for the long game
Yeah.
personally. Just wait until I turn into a submaster. It's over for all you hoes. If you want to try it out and give it a fair shake and see if you like it or not, that's great. And if you decide you don't like it, you don't have to stick with it. But if you do want to stick with it and you do find enjoyment with it, don't expect to make monumental progress in a year, even. Like you said, 10 pounds might be your
Yeah,
PR.
exactly.
I had another thought and then I completely lost it. Darn it. Oh, what's your best squat, bench, and deadlift?
My best squat, not 900 pounds.
Too soon?
But but my best squat, 875 in sleeves, bench in a meet, 530, and I think in open powerlifting it has like 521 or something like that. And then deadlift in a meet, I'm actually not sure what my best deadlift in a meet was. My best deadlift in general was 880, and I think I probably hit like 830 in a meet.
What weight class do you compete?
Heavyweight.
Oh, you a big
Super
boy.
heavyweight. I did want to compete in 308. My first year of powerlifting, they got rid of that weight class. So it was so I had the choice to go down to like 264 or whatever it was, or like jump up a weight class. I'm like, I'm not cutting weight. All I gotta do is eat. Okay.
I do want to ask my favorite question to ask people, which is I just want you to take a moment to think back in your fitness journey and think of a time where you were like, what the hell was I thinking?
What the hell was I thinking? I used to take these gym photos where I'm just like posed trying to look like real good in like a cutoff shirt. And I hate cutoff shirts, right? I hate them. But I think it's like the amount of selfies that I took. And then what else was it? There's a one point where I was taking like a fat burner which is probably the worst idea ever. It was just really fallen into any fitness fad that like ever came up, and you're like, you know what, this might be a good idea. I think really following the crowd and some of the things that I like ate or did or said, and I think that was the worst. And I hate to use the word cringe, but every time I see a status that I put on Facebook about the gym, oh, the gym will fix me. Can't wait to get into the gym and do this, and blah blah. Or like the pictures I'd post, like flexed in the mirror or something.
But Ty, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you coming on and chit-chatting with me.
Yeah,
It's
of
been
course.
great talking with you.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, I bet. Thank you so much for having me on. You don't always get to tell your like story in powerlifting and just talk. I mean, sometimes people outside of powerlifting ain't like that. They don't want to hear it.
Right.
Their questions are, how much do you lift? And then it's like, okay.
Is there anything that you want to plug? Any social media?
No, I mean, not really. Like, if people want to, this is going to come out after the meet, so we'll talk about it after. So, I mean, I really don't have anything to plug. So next year, you can be on the lookout for Raise the Bar. My Instagram is just pull_my beard. And that's it. Pull my beard. And you'll see my smiling face.
If you enjoyed this episode, please follow, share, rate, and review. It helps the podcast grow and reach more people. Do you have any questions or suggestions? Email me at musclesandmalarkey@gmail.com or find me on Instagram at musclesandmalarkey. Yeehaw and yee-claw, everybody.